What's up everyone, Dimitri here. In this video, I'm going to break down Victor Wembanyama's shooting form. Wemby's form and shooting percentages certainly aren't what I expected from someone with his size and wingspan. If I only saw his form from the shoulders up, I would have thought he was a guard. In this one, I'm going to break down for you the different pieces that make up his jumper. These are the mechanics that make up the shooting form of Victor Wembanyama. Alright, let's dive in. Let's start with Wemby's shooting stance. When on balance and he can get his feet set the way he wants to, Wemby's feet are usually slightly wider than shoulder width when he goes to shoot. Sometimes in the fast pace of a game though, Wemby will shoot out of a really narrow stance, where his feet are really close together. But when he can, he gets to this wider stance, where his left foot is just about underneath his left shoulder, and his right foot is out a little wider than his right shoulder. Despite his feet being wide, it still feels like Wemby has a narrow base, and that's because of how he bends his knees. Wemby's knees cave in as he bends them, to the point where they're touching or almost touching. Wemby turns both his feet to the left to an extent, but how far left he points them varies. Like here, they're both facing inward. But often his right foot is turned really far in, so that it's facing way more left than his left foot is. This looks a little awkward to shoot out of, but he does seem balanced regardless. Pointing his feet left turns Wemby's whole body to the left. Wemby also steps in further with his right foot than his left foot, which brings his right shoulder, his shooting shoulder, further ahead than his left. And now, by stepping in further with his right foot, and by turning his feet and body to the left, his release, eyes, and the basket are all aligned. Next up, how Wemby holds the basketball, and where he places his hands. Wemby grabs the ball with his hand and fingers spread wide, and positioned so that his middle finger is in the middle of the ball. His pointer, middle, and ring finger are straight, but he's got his pinky bent. Wemby's whole palm is in contact with the ball too. He's really letting the ball sit on that palm there. As for his guide hand, to start his shot, Wemby puts the palm of his guide hand on the side of the ball, with his fingers curling around the bottom. But as he continues through his shot, this now becomes the top of the ball. His fingers curl over the top. He does get those fingers and his guide hand out of the way before he shoots, but I'll show you that later. Next up, Wemby's set point. After getting his hands on the ball, Wemby starts his shot by dipping the ball down and then raising it up to his set point, here. This is the location he lifts the ball to before actually shooting it to the basket. Wemby lifts the ball up just above his head, like the bottom of the ball is in line with the top of his head. He also keeps it in front. He's not bringing the ball back behind his head at all. For someone who's 7'4" and has an 8-foot wingspan, I would have guessed before ever seeing his shot that he'd have a higher set point, that he'd bring the ball up higher and back more, kinda like KD. But instead, Wemby has a set point similar to Klay Thompson and Devin Booker. Besides the height of his set point, the other part of it is Wemby brings the ball to the right side of his head. Doing this angles his forearm over to his left. His shooting elbow is facing the basket, and from the side angle, you can see that his elbow is pointing above parallel with the ground. So his elbow is pointing up, his forearm is bent back, and his wrist is flexed back. Most of the time, Wemby flexes his wrist back far enough so that his hand is facing more upwards at his set point. But sometimes he doesn't flex his wrist back that far. See how his wrist is facing more forward here versus where it's facing more up? I couldn't tell if there's a reason or a certain scenario that causes him to not flex his wrist back as much, or if it's just random, but yeah, something I noticed. Alright, so that is Wemby's form and the location of the ball at his set point. From his set point, Wemby actually shoots the ball now and follows through. He extends his shooting elbow high as he releases. And then sometimes he drops it forward as he's following through. Between that and when he takes his guide hand off the ball, his shooting hand finishes ahead of and sometimes lower than his guide hand. A lot of shooters finish with both hands more in line with each other. When he reaches his set point, Wemby's shooting hand is pointing upwards, but also to the left. See how his wrist is twisted so that his hand points up and to his left? His wrist is in the middle and under the ball, but it's angled in a way so that his hand is over to the right side of the ball from his perspective. But then, as Wemby's shot continues from his set point to his release, his shooting hand twists so that it does end up in the middle of the ball right before he releases. It's in the middle and behind the ball, so that now he can snap his wrist right towards the basket. Not that Wemby is thinking about any of this. He's not thinking, okay, now I'm at my set point, so I better twist my hand. It's all happening in one motion. But yeah, when you break it down, this is what's happening. So he snaps his wrist towards the basket, and his palm and fingers finish curled and facing down. Watch this though. As he approaches his release, Wemby's fingers come off the ball. His pointer, middle, and ring finger extend back off the ball. Damian Lillard does this too. But then they snap forward and push the ball. It's mostly his pointer, middle, and ring finger which are pushing the ball. His pinky does curl and apply some force, but the majority of it is coming from his other three fingers. Last two things. I showed you earlier how Wemby's guide hand curls over the top of the ball. Well, right before he releases, he takes it off the ball and gets it out of the way. He lifts his fingers off the top while flexing his wrist back. And now, he's free to release the ball without any interference. Okay, last thing, his eyes. After shooting, Wemby keeps his eyes on the basket. He doesn't lift them to watch the ball or anything. His shooting stance, how he holds the ball, his set point, release, and follow through. These are all the different pieces that make up the shooting form of Victor Wembanyama. Hey, hope you enjoyed this one and learned a thing or two that helps you with your own shooting form. I'll put a link to my other shooting form breakdown videos in the description so you can check those out too. And if you'd like to support me and my channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member. You'll also unlock a few members-only perks like video updates and behind-the-scenes looks at upcoming videos. Click the join button below this video or on my channel page to learn more. Alright, besides that, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.